prison workout. Where should I start? Because there's so many misconceptions. First off, food. Food is very limited in prison, at least when I was there. You could get a package, 55 pounds a month, which some people are like, oh, 55 pounds? And no, it's not a lot of food. The cans, the boxes, the bags, all that's weighed together. It's not just the food. Not to mention, 55 pounds of food is not a lot. You get 3 meals in the mess hall: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They're small meals and small portions. I remember some dinners, you would get like a chicken leg and it's like attached to the thigh, and it's probably like maybe that big, the piece of chicken, with a scoop of rice or a scoop of potatoes, maybe some type of mixed vegetable or something, and a little piece of cake, maybe like about that big. And that's dinner for a grown man. Commissary was, I think, $55 every 2 weeks or something like that. So $110 in commissary. Commissary was wildly expensive. A crackhead soup was like 25 cents when they're only 10 cents out here. And you had a limit on the things you could buy. So rice, you got to get your seasonings, you got to get your jack mackerel, whatever. So you can eat, but you're not getting 8,000 calories a day like some people think. You're just not getting it unless you're eating a whole lot of crackhead soups and you work in a mess hall where you can get bread, etc., so you can add food to your diet. So food is definitely a problem. Protein is expensive. So if you're buying tuna fish or something from the store, or Jack Mac, all those things are like $1 or $2 a piece. Mind you, only got $55 every 2 weeks. So you can pretty much imagine how fast that adds up. Now, if you work in a mess hall, you can steal chicken, stuff like that. You can get it back, or you get extra portions because you're working in the mess hall. But the mess hall dorm has a limit. It's only about like maybe 100 inmates who work in the mess hall. That's it. The other 1,900 in the facility, they're not working in the mess hall. So it's a common misconception there's a lot of food available. There's not. You got to work with what you got. A lot of guys are eating jars of peanut butter right out the jar just to try to get the calories and the protein. And the reality is, you eating oatmeal, protein, whatever, you're really not getting it. This is why a lot of guys in prison are more cut, because of lack of food. Even if you're getting commissary packages and working mess hall, still not getting as much food as you would be able to get out here. I can go right now and get 40,000 calories. It's not going to bother my budget. It's not going to bother anything. There's no limit on what I can buy on food out in the world. Second misconception is sleep. I've seen so many of these comments. Oh, well, inmates sleep all day. No, the fuck they don't. Your ass got to be up. I think it was like 7 or 8 o'clock. Your bed got to be made and you got to be up. You can't just lay in your bed all. What you think be going on in prison? Like, dude just be laying in bed chilling? Not in New York. 8 o'clock. Might have been 9. I might be wrong. Might have been 9, but I'm pretty sure it was 8. Your bed got to be made. You cannot be in it. Not be sleeping. You can go sit in a chair and watch TV or something, but you're definitely going to school or work, depending on what you have. If you got a GED, then you're going to have a job. You're going to do a job. At the very minimal, you're going to sweep, mop, wax the dorm, etc. That's if you're a porter and you work in there, or the tier if you're in a maximum facility. That's what you're going to do. But you're going to work, and you're definitely not laying around all day. That's not reality. So yes, you get a solid 7-8 hours of sleep at night, unless you're in the max and people are screaming on the bars or trying to hang up or do whatever people do in the maxes sometimes. Even in the medium, there have been fights at 2 o'clock in the morning. Dude will wait till one dude go to sleep and throw some hot water or oil or something on him while he's sleeping, or stab him. So you're not sleeping all day. So you get to sleep when you can, 7-8 hours at night, when your cell locks and when it opens, or when the dorm's down and everybody's sleeping. That's when you get your rest. But you ain't sleeping all day like people think. Third misconception: everybody's in shape. Do you know how many crackhead looking dudes are in prison? There's a lot. Little skinny dudes. Matter of fact, I met some gangsters that was 120 pounds, but he got a knife. And he gonna stab you about 50 times. You got dudes that's brolic. Yeah, that's true. But they're maybe 10% of the jail. You got a lot of dudes that are cut up because, like I said, food shortage, you're stressed out. All these things are contributing to your body fat percentage being lower. You have a lot of stress. You have a lot of nonsense going on. You're in a violent environment. And you're bored. So people are going to rec, they're playing basketball, they're walking around the track. All these things are exercise. So yeah, guys are in better shape in prison than they are in the street. But the majority of them ain't big, jacked up monsters. That's just not reality. The majority of guys in prison are under 200 pounds. Matter of fact, probably under 180. And you got a couple fat guys. I don't know how these fat guys stay fat. It's like I said, it's hard to get for. I feel like all the fat guys are selling drugs or friends with somebody selling drugs so they can get extra commissary and all that, because I don't understand how they're getting enough food to be fat. But I see a lot of fat guys in prison, but they're there and they're usually Spanish dudes. But there are a couple fat guys in there. But everybody's not a big jacked up monster. Lifting weights. I ain't see a lot of guys lifting weights. Here and there might be, say on a rec yard, there might be 20 guys lifting weights. It's out of 2,000 guys in the prison. 20 guys is lifting weights. Maybe throughout the week, 200 guys touch them weights. 10% of the population. A lot of guys, to work out, they're doing push-ups, they're doing pull-ups. It's another common misconception that people think they're doing push-ups and pull-ups every day. You're not. You got rest days in prison. If it's a visit, you're going to the visit early in the morning. You're not doing push-ups and pull-ups. You're getting dressed. You're getting ready. You're going down to see your peoples and you're coming back. That's on the weekend. Secondly, rec's not always open. There's a violent situation going on, gang war or something. Rec's closed. Ain't no pull-ups in the dorm and ain't no pull-ups on the tier. So all you can really do is push-ups. So some guys do push-ups because they're bored. But push-ups ain't going to get you big. So you run into a lot of guys that they're cut up, they're ripped, they got good endurance, but they're not big because all they're really doing is cardio and calisthenics, and that's going to get you cut. It's not going to get you jacked. And the biggest misconception is steroids. I have never seen steroids in prison. 10 years, federal, state, I have never seen steroids. You got to look at it like this. Nobody's sneaking a needle in. But where you going to put that? You going to boof a needle? That's not going to happen. You're going to get caught, or you're going to have to keep reusing the same needle. And I don't think that's going to effectively work. Then you'd have to smuggle in bottles of testosterone, whatever. That's not happening either. I'm going to tell you why. Can somebody smuggle in oral steroids or a bottle? Yeah. But why? They could be bringing in heroin or cocaine, or you're going to get the same charge. You're going to get the same charge. Smuggling contraband, it's going to be a felony. You're going to get the same charge. But off the smuggled in drugs you brought in, you're going to make $5 grand, 10 grand. And off the steroids, you're going to make $300. Nobody's doing that, bro. Now, you're in an environment that's violent. It's testosterone fueled. I'm pretty sure that brings up your genetic potential, or I don't know the scientific terms behind it. But you're around a bunch of violence. You're around a bunch of men. It's going to make your testosterone levels go up. It's going to help you. You do work out more because you're bored. You don't have nothing to do. Imagine you're in the streets and I take away your TV. I take away your PlayStation. I take away your phone. You're going to be bored, bro. So a lot of people work out just because they're bored. So they come home in better shape. But the reality is this. A lot of guys were on drugs out here. Popping all types of pills. Drinking all the time. Not eating. Running the streets. And now you take this guy. You put him in an environment where he eats 3 meals a day. He's actually working out. Yeah, he's going to look good. He's going to look way better than he did in the streets. Because the majority of dudes out here is looking crazy. I'll tell you a story. I was in LA, right? And they got this taco place. I think it's called Mama Taco. It's on like Vernon and I think that's Hooper right there. But it's in the enemy hood. So I used to go over there and get tacos whenever I go to LA. The homies used to be like, yo, Cal, you can't be, fuck all that. I'm going wherever the fuck I want. So I go over there, and the majority of the gang members that I used to see over there is little, frail, skinny, 120-pound boys. I don't even want to call them men. They in their 30s, but they built like boys. So it's like, y'all so frail and tiny. And when I talked to the homies was like, yeah, they pop, you know, Molly and all that over here. That's like a Hoover hood. So they be over there popping all them weird drugs, and that's why they look like they look. You take one of them dudes and put him in prison, get him off drugs, have him work out, and give him 3 meals a day, he gonna blow up. He probably gonna look like a bodybuilder. But out in the streets, he looking like what he is, a drug addict. Stop looking to the prison workout. That's not a thing. The prison diet. It's not a thing. You got better food out here. You got better equipment. You got better programs. Use them. Stop going on people's things. Guy made a video talking about you shouldn't do pull-ups every day. You shouldn't. Because you're not allowing the muscle to grow, build, and heal, etc. Somebody said, well, they do it in prison. Never been to prison. How the fuck you know? And they don't. Nobody in prison works out every day. Well, I'm pretty sure there's one guy. It's probably 170 shredded. Nobody cares if you got abs at 170 when you're 6 foot. Listen to the people in the streets that studied the science, that know the proper programming, that know what you should do. Prison workout, it's not a thing. Prison diet, it's not a thing. Going to prison is a thing that you don't want to be a part of. Prison is trash. It ain't no fun. And if you think following behind things that people in prison do is a way of improvement, then you are a fucking idiot.